Hello, good afternoon. It's Shiley. I'm here in my fiber studio and we're going to do some carding today. I've got a few different bats laid out. Getting ready to go. So I have a few different fun colors here. We're going to start with the purple. Got purple, gray, and a little bit of black. And then I have a gray bat and a multicolored bat. I don't know if we'll do all three. But we will do as much as I can. So let's come over here to the carder. All right, now that we've got that set, so I'm making some bats for my live sale on Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. I said 2:30, I think, another day, and I was mistaken. It is at 2. And all these bats I've been making will be available at the sale. So today we're starting with some purple, which is a merino wool, and then I have this grayish brown, which is Rambouillet Columbia blend, and that's from Leaf Livestock. And I have this beautiful baby alpaca in black. So this is going to be a double blend on the carder, so I'm going to do it layer by layer. Put it on all the purple first, and then the baby alpaca will kind of go on here and there because I have to paint it right onto the drum. So we're going to be using two of my favorite colors, purple and gray. I'm almost out of purples in my fiber stash, and I need to dye some purple because I have all of our comb top back from the mill, and I could be dyeing some of that to use. Okay, let's put some baby alpaca on here. So this is very fine and slippery fiber, so it won't feed through the carder, but I can paint it right on the Swift drum. This purple does have a little bit of pinks here and there in it. I can put some of this through the drum, but I have to put some other fiber on top of it. So I'll take some of this purple merino and lay it on top. Okay, so the purple's all on. Now I'm going to add this gray. And a little bit more of the baby alpaca. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I do. I like the little bit of pink here. So I have a new story for you guys. Another fun lambing story. So last night when we went to do chores, it had been, you know, a couple hours since we checked the sheep last, and since we're lambing, we check every couple hours. So we walk up to the barn and we're hearing what sounds like a mom with new babies. So we walk in, and it's one of the first time moms, and she's got two babies out, and she's not really licking them off, she's just kind of looking at them. One's sitting in like a puddle of just fluid, and the other one's kind of has his head up and is yelling. So she doesn't really lick them, she's not really licking them, so we get a stall open and get the babies, and as we're trying to get her and move her into a stall, meanwhile she won't follow the babies into a stall because she's too nervous around us. Usually you can kind of lead them with the babies and get them over to a stall or a lambing jug, whatever you want to call them. We have their 4x6 foot stalls. So as we're trying to move her, I'm kind of watching her back end. It looked like that she was done, and then all of a sudden I see like this kind of whitish colored sack coming out, and all of a sudden this little tiny baby and like a really thick sack falls out of her, and she doesn't even notice. She just keeps going. So I grab this little bitty thing, and when I touched it and went to grab it, it really felt like Jello. So sometimes when you use a abort, or they have like premature babies, if they're not fully formed or something like that, the babies literally feel like Jello because their bones aren't fully formed. Well, this baby felt like Jello, and I pick it up and I'm holding it in my hand, and it's little, itty bitty. And then I feel a heartbeat, so I'm like, what the heck? So I get a towel and I'm pulling all this fluid off this baby. It just had so much stuff on it. And it's like not really breathing. It didn't seem like at first. I could just feel the heartbeat. And so I clean off its face. A good easy trick to get it to kind of cough and whatnot is stick a little piece of straw like just in its nose a little bit, and that'll make them kind of cough or sneeze. So I do that, and then I kind of start giving it CPR, just like chest compressions on its side. See if I can't get it going, because it really wasn't breathing. I could feel the heartbeat, but no breathing. I could see no movement for the lungs. So I'm doing this, and the mother's in the stall with the other baby. She's just kind of staring at us. She's not touching the other baby, so she's too nervous around us. I'm trying to bring this one to life, and it finally took like a breath in, and then really didn't see consistent movement for the lungs yet. So I kept giving it CPR, and so every once in a while it would like gasp in a breath. So I kept doing it, and finally this little bitty lamb starts breathing. And I seriously thought at that moment that it wasn't going to survive. because it was so tiny. So I get this baby completely dried off and clean. Meanwhile, it is colder because yesterday we got all this snow and everything. So it's pretty chilly out. Not as cold as the January lambs, but cold enough. So when I get it all dried off, it's still going. And I go in the stall with the mother because she's not licking her babies off. She might have given each of them a couple licks while I was sitting there. And so I get in there and I start cleaning the other babies off, trying to get them a little bit drier and get them up and going. And she kind of licked them a little bit more, just a little bit, but not very much. So she's not a very good mother. Sometimes first-time moms have some issues and don't really know what to do at first, but she really isn't good. Which kind of sucks because she's one of my favorite young ewes. But anyways, so I have this little bitty thing, and I mean, it's like, it looks like it's this big, super tiny. And our lambs usually come out like this long. So I hold this thing up, it's breathing, looking fine. It was kind of just sitting there. The mother licked the tiny one a little bit. So I check her teeth, she's got good milk. So I hold up this little bitty baby, and meanwhile, it can't even stand up. Its legs are pretty much useless. It's got like no strength in its legs at all. And I get it up and I kind of put it right on one of her teeth. And it starts sucking. It starts going to town. But I have to like hold it up in the air because it's not even tall enough for it to like lay on the ground and try to suck off of her. So I get that one going. I let that one eat for a while because I knew I'd be taking that one home. So the other two, after I fed him, I got both of them up and kind of got them eating a little bit. They didn't eat very much. She doesn't seem to care that much for them. I mean, she lets them eat and everything, but she just didn't lick them off at all. And so these are wet babies, and it takes a long time to dry if the mothers don't lick them off. They didn't get cold, but they didn't bond very well either. So I don't know how those two are going to fare out. They seem to be all right, but she's still not very motherly. So anyways, I let this tiny baby eat a couple times off the mother while we were there. And when we go to leave, I get my scale out and weigh this thing. And this little tiny lamb is only 3.5 pounds. Meanwhile, most of our lambs average probably 11 plus. So this thing is tiny. I mean, I can carry it one-handed, no problem. So, we have this little bitty lamb. We named him Chip. My little 4-pound lamb. He's doing pretty good. I don't remember last night if I could get him to stand at all. I think I did. I got him to stand a little bit, but it had to be like, I could only stand him like on carpet. Anything else was too slippery. So he's eating okay. He's not a great eater yet, but sometimes it takes him a couple days to figure it out. He seems pretty fine besides him not having like any strength for the most part. But I've been, every time I go and, you know, feed him every 4 hours and or go and check on him, I was getting him up and making him stand and everything to get him a little bit stronger and figure out his legs. And this last time I went to, that I fed him, so earlier this afternoon, fed him, and then afterwards I got him up and he's standing and he's actually like looking like he wants to move. He like wags his little tail all the time. And so I got him, I pushed him back a little bit and had him facing me, and he took some steps and he's actually starting to figure it out, but he can't stand up on his own yet. I have to stand him up. His back legs are worse than the front legs. His pasterns are really weak. So he's definitely going to be a project, which isn't the funnest thing to do, but you have to do it. So now we've got little Chip, and we're up to like 12 lambs for this round of lambing. I'll have to get some pictures posted or show you him at some point. He just looks like this sickly little tiny thing. Okay, so we're almost done with our second blend on this batt. Okay, where to put this? Let's try the edge. All right, batt number 1 is done. I don't know necessarily if the wraps would help. It's mostly his back legs, and it's more or less he just has like absolutely no like muscle mass whatsoever. He kind of looks, he could be a little bit premature. I don't know how that works when you have multiple lambs like that. But it's, well, it's almost more his hips too than anything, because when he falls down, his like legs splay out. So his hips are really, really weak. But he's so itty bitty. I don't know how. The wraps probably wouldn't stay on very well either. But I'm going to keep doing like my little physical therapy with him and getting him up and making him walk a little bit. Just baby steps. Ooh, look at this pretty one. Look at that. Really like that. My favorite colors. I need to get some more black so I can start adding it in more batts, because I do like how much depth it gives it. Let's roll her up. So there we go. There's batt number 1. And we'll set that one aside. Oh, I've got a bag here somewhere. Finally, just before I went live, sat down and labeled and bagged up all the other batts we've been making. So yeah, and I gave my little lamb, he got bow seed last night and colostrum paste and a couple extra things. So talked to my vet today. She's super helpful when I need stuff. So I just wish the mother would have been a little bit better. That probably would have helped quite a bit. But she hasn't laid on a lamb or stepped on it or tried to kick him, so just kind of trying, just not very well. Okay. Let's move on to gray. So I've got gray here. And these are, so the gray, I've got Targhee Romney Alpaca Blend. Then I've got Straight Alpaca. And then this is South Down Cross. This is a little bit more brown. And then I have Romney. So I'm going to do a double blend on this one too, to get cool blended gray batt. So we're going to do this Romney first. I really like this gray Romney color. The South Down Cross, so I just got this. It's a really like springy medium wool. I would compare it kind of to my, I don't know, some of our Dorset is really fine compared to other Dorset. But it looks like it's going to be a really warm wool, so good for like socks and outerwear. It's definitely not next skin soft, so not the most soft wool. But a lot of these blends I do are geared more towards your warmer wear, your socks, things like that. Even a shawl would be alright with most of this, because I try to blend with some more soft stuff when there isn't softer wool, so you get a nice variation. I've never used South Down wool before. The feel of it kind of reminds me of Leaf Livestocks, like their Rambouillet Columbia Roving, like the springiness to it. But the Rambouillet Columbia is softer than this South Down Cross, for sure. Alright, so there's gray Romney, and then we're going to try some of the South Down and blend it with this alpaca. This alpaca doesn't go through the carder by itself. Whew. Whew. Needed to sneeze. I didn't take any allergy pills today. Really need to. Especially when we've been cooped up so much. Today, the snow all melted that we got yesterday, but it's been really, really windy today. Besides, this morning was really nice. This morning, we bedded down the lambing barn, and I cleaned out stalls, and it was really nice. It was warm enough that I could take off my coveralls and clean stalls my pajamas, which seems to be every time I clean stalls I'm always in pajama pants. I usually wear them because they're a nice warm layer. Okay, let's see. A little bit more of this. Everything's sticking to the liquor drum. So my favorite colors are literally purple and gray. So doing these two batts today, the purple and the gray one, that is right up my alley. I'm going to paint some of this on. Everything's wanting to stick to the liquor drum and not go on the Swift today. All these finer wools. Alright, that's all the fiber for the first blend. Well, that's some strong fibers. That Romney's really, really strong. Really want to get one of those little, like the hook. I don't know what, I cannot remember what you call these things. Sometimes it might be better just to hook it and then lift it up, because prying it off of here sometimes is a little bit of an arm workout. Okay, so here's the first blend. Now I'm going to pull it apart so we can do another blend and get all these pretty fibers together. Hi, Stephanie. I kept wanting to say Doffer, but then my brain kept telling me there's like a Doffer brush, which also doesn't make sense. I've been a little lacking on my terminology lately, apparently. Alright, we got all these fun gray fibers, so let's send them through again. At least now I can remember what the big drum's called. That's the swift drum. Excuse me. It's getting quite warm in my room, which is surprising because it's windy and the wind usually makes this room cold. But hey. Might be warmer than I think outside though. The wind's probably deceiving. I mean, all the snow's gone, almost. Just a little tiny bit where it really accumulates. But this had better been it. Because I'd really like to plant some onions, like, next week. Alright, we're almost done with the gray batt. I actually have enough materials, I could probably make a couple more of these gray batts. No, make it on. All right. here's bat number 2. Just a nice simple gray, blended gray. Really like it. That purple one and this one would make a pretty yarn together if you applied them. I could make more of these. That'd be fun. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do for today. Since it's already after 5 o'clock, I got a little bit of a late start. And it's about time to go check the sheep again and do the evening chores for the day. So we've got 2 bats. We did this one, and just threw this one in a bag. Here's our purple. So I got those 2. And then tomorrow we're gonna blend these fun colors. So we will see you guys tomorrow again, and we'll have some more carding fun, and maybe we'll see a little chip. So we'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.